Hello YouTube, Brock3 here, back with another kicking action figure review. Today's review is over a figure I love very, very much. I love this figure so much. It was one of my first NECA figures, my first or second NECA figure ever, it had to be. And it's always going to have a place in my collection. It's from one of my favorite horror games of all time, technically, sort of. It is the Dead Space 2 Necromorph slasher from NECA. I say it's from one of my favorite horror video games. When I say that, I mean the first Dead Space. The second Dead Space kind of has some like little jump scares, but for the most part, it's an action game. The third Dead Space game is just an action game. It's not scary. The Necromorph coming out of the snow scares you once, and then it's no. But yeah, Dead Space 2 Necromorph slasher. This was the last Dead Space series NECA made. They didn't do anything for Dead Space 3. No action figures anyways, which really disappointed me because I was really looking forward to Isaac's suit because it looked really good in that one. And John Carpenter, or whatever his name was, that followed Isaac around. Because, I mean, I am a huge Dead Space fan. I have the graphic novels, the figures. I mean, I even have Extraction, and I don't have the other games because I really don't have anything to play them on, but I have played them, which is the point. So, yeah, Necromorph Slasher. This is a really, really just spectacular figure. I picked it up at Toys R Us a while back, when Dead Space 2 was still relatively new. And just recently I got the Dead Space 2 Isaac Clarke, also in this wave. Check him out. His review is already up on my channel, actually. But, yeah, Necromorph Slasher. Pretty awesome, I have to say. First, let's get into the stuff he comes with. He comes with this black stand. Just generic black stand. It's the only way you can get him to stand unless you pose him on all fours, like a crawling necromorph. But he is not going to stand up on two by himself. He's going to fall every single time. But he also has a lot of articulation. He's got up and down on the head. So you can really just kind of ball peg on the head. Just move him however you want, really. And then the arms. Got all that movement. You got a swivel on the elbow, and you have all that movement in the hands. Rotation on the sides, which I think is pretty cool. And nothing on the torso, but you do have these hands on little balls, little intestine feelers. It's a pretty gross figure, I know, but necromorphs are gross. So, and you got a whole range of movement in the inner legs. You got a swivel on each knee, as you can see, and a swivel on each foot as well. So, yeah. Pretty tight figure. It has a pretty good amount of articulation, especially for a NECA figure in the time frame this guy came out. I mean, he's got to have almost 30 points. Right? Not really. That was quite an exaggeration. But yeah, he does have a lot of points for NECA. And let's count the points, actually. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 points. Yeah, I knew 30 was an exaggeration when I said it, but 17. Pretty nice. Now let's talk about detail and paint. Oh, wow. NECA has never let me down with detail and paint. I mean, they are just some of the best sculptors in the business, and now they're getting more articulation, picking up characters that lots of companies aren't willing to give a chance, like Pacific Rim. I mean, wow. Look at this guy. I mean, he's got his missing jawbone and up in his mouth. He's got his teeth and all of his freaking flesh up in there. Look at that. The whites of his eyes, of the blood just all over his skin. I mean, look at the flesh on his neck. That spine. Oh my gosh. I mean, this could be real. The arms, the detail on the sides. Look, they got blood on the ends like they've been stabbing stuff. The hands. Oh my goodness. I mean, this is just... wow. Well, the feelers. You see they got blood on the back of them coming out of his body. Blood running down the legs. His torn apart feet. I mean, it doesn't get better than this. I mean, the gore factor on this guy is... it's incredible. It's in-freaking-credible. And to top it all off... well, first a little explanation. In the Dead Space video games, you have to defeat the slashers by dismembering them because their brain or something runs throughout the whole body because they're cellular and they take over dead bodies, right? And so to make them inactive, you have to destroy parts of bodies. They're not like zombies. You can't blow off the head and be done. In fact, if you blow off the head, they're going to come at you harder because now they can't see and they're just going to swing wildly and move a lot faster. Personally, what I do is blast off the legs and then the head, and that'll usually do it, head and arm maybe. But the cool thing is, this figure, dismemberable. Yeah, you can dismember your Necromorph with just these pegs. And they're tight enough in there so that they stay in for sure when they're in there. And they won't come out unless you pull them out. And they're not hard to pull out at all. You gotta put a little energy in it, but it's not difficult at all. You wouldn't say it's difficult. And look at all the detail. They put the detail and paint in there. I mean, mine's a little scratched, but that's because I articulate this guy a lot. I mean, I mess around with this guy probably once a week at least for years. I mean, the other arm probably doesn't have as much scuffing. None. No scuffing in this horror. But yeah, you can remove both the arms. And you can pop out the legs. You got all the sculpting in the legs. My legs don't have any paint wear because I usually don't articulate the legs that much. But yeah, the legs all unarticulated. And then, last but not least, the head, which in my opinion is the worst one because the peg still comes out here. But for articulation reasons, that's pretty necessary, I have to say. That's necessary articulation-wise. But look at the gore in the head. I mean, come on, this is great, right? Isn't this pretty much the coolest? So, yeah, I'm going to put this guy back together, and then we'll get into some size comparisons. Now, here's the Necromorph Slasher compared with the Dead Space 2 Isaac Clarke figure. Remember to check out Isaac Clarke's review. It's already up on my channel. Just click on it, check it out. He's a pretty awesome figure as well. But here's the Necromorph Slasher. I think they scale up great because, you know, the Slasher, you can't really judge him on a human scale because he's definitely not human anymore. I mean, he's hunched over, lots of flesh is missing off of him, his limbs have been twisted. Yeah, you can't say he's human-sized, but I'd say he scales up pretty well with Isaac here. I mean, they rear up and jump on you, and then they're about face-to-face with you on the game. So I think this is perfect, actually. I mean, I wish they would have made more Necromorphs in this line, to be honest. Because he is perfect. He is perfect, perfect, perfect. And he fits in really well with Isaac Clarke here. Now, here's the Necromorph Slasher with two of my other favorite NECA figures. Here he is with the Guardian Predator that I also got from Toys R Us for about 17 bucks. And I think they scale up well too because, you know, the Predator is definitely bigger than a human and the Necromorph hunched down shorter. So he still looks great with this Predator. I mean, oh wow. And then here he is with the Engineer in suit from NECA. That's from the Prometheus line. I got him at DragonCon 2013. So you can check out my haul for DragonCon 2013 and my footage and stuff all on my second channel. Link in the description below. But yeah, Necromorph Slasher scares up well with him too. Scares up well with him. They would scare up well together. Scales up well with the Engineer. To be honest, every figure I've shown you so far is highly recommended. Now, here's the Necromorph Slasher with some other, like, 7-inch-ish figures. They don't really fit in with kind of the mythology of it, like a Dead Space Predator or Dead Space Prometheus crossover would be believable, but Dead Space Spider-Man, Dead Space Power Rangers, not really. But normally I show like 3 size comparisons of stuff, so I thought, you know, another size comparison was called for. You guys expecting it, I suppose. But yeah, here he is with the Power Rangers Megaforce Armored Red Ranger figure from this new 7-inch line that barely has any figures in it so far, but I really hope they continue it through Super Megaforce. And I think they scale up fine together. I can see him gutting the Necromorph, well, the few guts it has left. But, I mean, their detail and stuff don't match, but the size definitely do. So if you want to do something like that, you just go right ahead. And then here he is with the Amazing Spider-Man from Marvel Select. Oh man, when I got this figure, I couldn't put it down. I haven't messed with it much recently because I've had it for a while, but I'm probably going to mess with him after this, and I'm sure I'll pick him up more when the Amazing Spider-Man 2 comes out. 2014, summer 2014. Hopefully I'll have this review up before then. But I'm kind of slow on the reviews. But yeah, I mean, he looks great with the Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man's a bit shorter. He is a teenager, Andrew Garfield, but technically Red Ranger here's a teenager too. But yeah, I think they look fine. And detail-wise, they go together a little bit more. So that helps. They each have excellent detail. I could see that happening too. One of my favorite horror creatures and my favorite superhero. Oh, wow. I'd read that graphic novel, right? But yeah, he scales up great with all your over 7-inch figures. So, all in all, what do I think of the Dead Space 2 Necromorph Slasher from NECA? This is definitely one of the best figures in my collection, one of the favorite figures in my collection, and it was a big leap for NECA, I think, because back when this figure came out, as you can see in the Dead Space 2 Isaac Clarke, the articulation in NECA figures was very limited compared to, say, what I have in my Prometheus and Predator figures I showed a second ago. But, I mean, this guy's articulation is spectacular. You probably wouldn't think as much of it with the current NECA figures, but still with the current NECA figures, this guy has the removable limbs and detail inside of the joints. How much better does it get than that? You got the great articulation and just the fun factor of this guy, spectacular, not to mention the detail and paint job, which are 1,000,000,000% accurate. The stand to help him stand, I mean, he can't stand well by himself, but hey, you gotta sacrifice something for accuracy, right? I mean, but the stand, he stands on it really well, and it's really not that noticeable. It's a small stand. He's a really great figure. He will never leave my collection unless I'm like really desperate for money. But, I mean, this guy right here deserves every penny. And he's still only like 20 bucks online. After all this time, he's still only about $20. So, get him and the Isaac Clarke. There's 2 figures in the entire series. Hello, completists. Easiest wave to complete ever. So, come on. Pick this guy up. You don't have a reason not to unless he freaks you out. He freaks me out too, but in a really awesome way. I mean, just 5 out of 5 stars. 5 out of 5 stars with this guy. I can't give him anything else. He's spectacular. Spectacular. I'm going to go play with him now. I mean, this figure right here. Wow. I can't take my eyes and my hands off of it. So, yeah, 5 out of 5 stars. Pick this up, you guys. If you're NECA fans, horror fans, Dead Space fans, video game fans, action figure fans, if you're a fan of literally anything nerdy, pick this guy up. He's fantastic. So yeah, that's it, you guys. As I said, 5 out of 5. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Please, 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 please. And check out all my other channels and stuff in the links in the description below. I got my other channels. I got Facebook, Twitter. We'll follow you back on Twitter, just so you know. Might take us a few days. I don't check it that often. I have auto posts that go on it for the most part. But yeah, just check it all out. All of it out down there. I got all kinds of stuff down there. My last review is linked down there. Tons of stuff. Tons of stuff. So please check it out, you guys. And just get this figure if you can, because he is spectacular. 5 out of 5. Alright, you guys. that is it for today. I'm gonna just do something else. So that's it. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all later.